Alright, I finished reading Confession of a Shy Baker, Volume 1 and 2. It's such a friendly BL romance. I really like it, and it's because it's also about baking. Alright, so we got Toshi on the yellow apron and Gon in a pink shirt. So they're both a couple. Now, Toshi likes to bake as a hobby, and especially for his partner. And then he's always looking for his partner's health. And so every Wednesday, it's like Gon's cheat day. And so he always make a snack for Gon. And Gon is always happy to see all these good snacks. So I don't blame him because it's so enticing seeing Toshi baking and especially the end result. And yeah. So Toshi's profession is actually a real estate agent that helps people find apartments. While Gon, he works for a care home. Now, when it comes to Toshi has a fear of, I guess he realized or noticed that society hasn't fully accepted, the LGBT community. And so he hasn't fully, tell people, that he's gay or in his mind, maybe it doesn't really matter, as long he's happy. But then at the same time, he's, afraid and has fears if his coworkers or friends or if they find out that he's gay. But I think eventually he'll probably get comfortable later on, and right now his focus is just his job and baking and being happy with his partner. And Gon, at the same time, he's very supported, even though Toshi doesn't seem like he wants to go out there and be seen as a couple, because there was this one time they went to a buffet and then Toshi didn't want them to be a couple. Instead, they pretended to be co-workers, which was what? I kind of feel bad for Gon, but I think Gon is just very respectful and accepting Toshi's wishes, because they've been together for 4 years. And so yeah, I guess Gon doesn't mind that. However, Toshi just, I think, Toshi, I kind of understand, why he's being like that. Because, like I said, society is not very acceptful sometimes when it comes to the LGBT community. And, yeah. And so, hopefully, he'll get eventually comfortable. And, I think this is going to be all about self-discovery and self-acceptance throughout the story. And yeah, so far so good. I really like it. I had this volume for a while, and it's a perfect month to read because it's Pride Month. And so yeah, definitely recommend this BL because it's just quiet and cute. And for me, well, I like to bake, and it's also about baking. And I'm gonna flip some pages for you guys. Illustration's really nice, and then the baking part is very detailed, except they won't tell you the measurement, but it's still fun to read. And like I said, it's so just looking at it, I want some. But yeah, I can't wait to read more. I think there's a total of 4 volumes out there so far, and so yeah, can't wait to read more. So today's Sunday, the only thing I read is Cherry Magic, 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. I really like the story so far. It's cute and adorable, and the romance is just, yeah, very cute. So you got this main character named Adachi. He turned 30, and suddenly he has this power to read people's mind. And then you got the guy next to him named Kurosawa, their co-worker. And then, well, of course you know what's gonna happen. So he accidentally touched him, and then he found out that Kurosawa likes him. And so now Adachi is just feeling a bit of a mess, kind of feel awkward and kind of shy. He doesn't know what to do with this information until he went on and asked advice from his friend named Masato, because Masato is a novelist who writes romance. However, Masato wasn't very helpful because I believe he doesn't really have any experience when it comes to this, and then Masato doesn't really believe about his power. And so now Adachi is just, he doesn't know what to do with it, or he can just go with it and just get to know him and see where this goes. Kurosawa really like Adachi, and then there is a backstory of how Kurosawa likes Adachi and so on. And then one day Adachi was invited to his place because Adachi missed his train, but nothing happens. But Kurosawa was very happy, of course, because he really wants to get closer to Adachi because he really likes him. But Adachi at the same time wants to avoid him because knowing his secret wouldn't be fair. And then he feel like he doesn't want to take advantage of that information, but who knows? I kind of know what's gonna happen at the end of the series because social media, a lot of spoiler, and so. But I'm still interested reading Cherry Magic, and it seems like a very popular anime as well. And of course, this is a BL. This is rated mature, but nothing happened like seriously yet, and so I can show you guys the pages. Yeah, it's just a cute, it's just a very cute BL, you know. I like that the romance is taking slow, because sometimes some BL romance it's too fast, and I don't like that. I just don't like when the romance is just too fast paced. I want that slow burnt, if that makes sense. And so yeah, I can't wait to read more of these. I think there's only a total of 11 volumes, not quite sure. And so far I only have volume 1, because this was a second hand, so that's why I got it. And yeah, I'll slowly eventually get more volumes, but for now, yeah, we'll see how this story goes. And yeah, I can't wait to read more. It's just really cute and adorable. Also, I want to add this because remember Masato didn't believe Adachi's power? Well, at the end of this volume, I guess Masato turned 30, and now he has the same powers as Adachi. So it seems like Adachi won't be the only one with this power. So who knows if there will be more characters with the same power. So that will be super interesting. And yeah, can't wait to learn or know if there's more to it. So today's Sunday. I just finished reading Seaside Stranger Volume 1 and 2. This is a BL story rated mature 17 and plus. So you got this 2 male character named Mio and Shun. In the beginning, Mio is still a high school student, always sitting by himself at a bench by the beach, reminiscing his parents because they passed away. And then Adachi always see him, and so he decided to talk to him one day. And yeah, they decided to get closer, and then they talked more. However, Mio had to tell Shun that he had to leave the island, which is Okinawa, to go to the mainland to go back to school. So after 3 years, Mio suddenly show up. Shun was surprised because Mio decided to rent a place in Shun's place because there was a vacancy. And so, of course, they started to get closer and closer. Romance sparks, and then Mio confessed to Shun that he really likes him, which it was a bit so fast to have those kind of feelings. But I guess Mio did say that ever since Shun talked to him, I guess he started to have feelings. And so yeah, Shun of course have some feelings, but he was more surprised. And then Mio is more like lovey-dovey than Shun. However, Shun is also busy because he's a writer, and so he has a lot of deadlines. And then one day, his ex-fiance, Shun's ex-fiance. So Shun used to be engaged with this girl. However, he decided to break it off because, you know, he's just not into girls. And his parents was very in shock and I guess was not accepting. And so he left Hokkaido, and then he ended up in Okinawa to live with his auntie. Anyway, the girl wanted him to go back home because his dad wasn't feeling well and it was time for him to visit and see them again. However, Shun did receive a letter that, you know, his dad wasn't feeling well. And so Shun wasn't like very happy. Like, he doesn't want to see his parents for many reasons, but Mio kind of convinced him. And so Shun decided to change his mind, and to a big surprise, Shun decided to ask Mio if he wanted to come with him because, you know, he wants Mio to be with him, and of course Mio wants them to be together and not be apart. And so they are going to this nice lovely journey heading to Hokkaido, but however they stop at Tokyo where Shun used to live and work, and then he had to meet his editor. Anywho, it was a cute little journey because Mio, it was his first time on a plane, and so they took like plane, a boat, and a train heading to Hokkaido. So I've been to Hokkaido. We actually took a train from Tokyo to Hokkaido, but I think we had to take another train and made a pit stop, and that took about, I would say, 14 to 16 hours on a train, and it was like 2 trains. And so imagine that. So it does, I mean, we decided to take the train instead of the plane. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. Yeah, so eventually they reached in Hokkaido. Mio met Shun's parents. However, his dad was okay. He just had a back problem. For some reason, that letter was just to convince Shun to come back. And so the dad was still kind of not welcoming, but still trying to figure things out. But the mom is very happy to see, you know, Shun. And I think they do know that, you know, Mio is his boyfriend, and so things are fine. However, like I said, the dad is still figuring things out. Eventually, he kind of like slowly accept, you know, Mio and Shun with their relationship. And so yeah, it's such a cute story. I like it. So the mom decided to convince them to stay in Hokkaido for a little while, and so now the boys are staying in Hokkaido, and so on. So we'll see how this story goes. Since this is a BL rated mature 17 and plus, I can't really show the pages, unfortunately. So far, I have 3 volumes with me, and I think there's only a total of 5 volumes that's out in English. I think there's a total of 6 so far. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I don't mind the story, even though sometimes the dialogue just doesn't make sense. It keeps jumping to different, like, oh, it's the next day, or like I feel like the conversation is not finished, and so it was a little bit confusing, like, okay. But anywho, I kind of like, you know, got the gist and decided to go with the flow and, you know, get the hang of the story. And so yeah, can't wait to read more. So I've decided to do a voiceover because my dryer was making so much noise. And so we're continuing with Seaside Stranger Volume 3. So in this volume, Shun has been thinking a lot of things, especially about his job and his future. And then his relationship with Mio, I feel like it's getting a little bit complicated when it comes to their intimacy, but I won't go further on that. Mio, at the same time, he's very carefree and young and just living his full life. And then Shun noticed that he's been comparing himself to Mio because it seems like Mio just has everything he wanted, but then Shun, on the other hand, I don't know, he's just going through a lot of things. And at the same time, Shun has a little brother, which is a big mystery because the dad just brought this little brother for many reasons. And so I'm a little bit confused whether if they're related or not. But yeah, that's still a big mystery. And then one day the brother saw something. It wasn't a big accident. Like he saw something, what happened to Shun and Mio. And so they had to explain to him what happened in a friendly way as much as possible, where he kind of understand because it was a big accident. If you know, you know. But anyway, the little brother is very supported with their. I don't know if he knows what's going on, but he seems very supported and he's just so happy that his brother is there. But anyway, Shun's father is slowly opening up. They start talking and just, you know, kind of catching up, especially Shun's been away for a while. And then, yeah, like nothing, not really much happened except, like I said, Shun's kind of been sort of struggling, thinking about a lot of things, and Mio being lovey-dovey, just being supported to Shun. And yeah, like, you know, relationship is not always perfect, so I think right now they're kind of struggling what they want with this relationship, especially Shun. But, you know, Mio is just, like I said, going with the flow. But Mio, on the other hand, is actually straight. And so he's not very experienced when it comes to this. And, like, Mio just loves Shun because he's nice and kind, and he was the first person to talk to him. And so, yeah, it's a little bit confusing, but however, like, his love for Shun is very strong. And so we'll see where this story goes, and I can't wait to read more, and I'm sure everything will be fine. Yeah. To end the day, I finished reading Galaxy Next Door, Volume 1 and 2. This was a very cute romance. I really like it. Usually when it comes to romance or shoujo, I'm very picky, and when it comes to romance, this is not very like predictable, and so I don't mind the story so far. So you got this girl named Shiori. She decided to leave her life in the island to experience the outside world, and so she got an assistant job under this mangaka named Kuga. And so she started living temporarily with him. Then one day her tail was sticking out, and then Kuga accidentally touched it, and now it's like a blood pack. And then Kuga is now Shiori's fiance. So Kuga was super confused. However, Shiori explained everything. It's sort of a tradition back in her island. So it feels like Shiori is like a different human. She called herself Strong Princess. Anyway, after that, Kuga was like, okay, now they have to find a way to annul this blood pact. And then whenever, once the job was done, Shiori left and noticed that she can feel that Kuga is feeling sick because of the whole retribution and, you know, the blood pact. And now it feels like she really has no choice but to be around with him. However, Kuga's place is actually looking for a new tenant. So coincidentally, now she's living under him. But now they gotta figure out all about this blood pact, retribution, and how they can be okay around with each other. And so they've been trying to find a way if they're okay being a mile apart. But yeah, they did some tests and then find some solution. Then throughout the story, Kuga started to have feelings for her because obviously Shuri already had some feelings for Kuga because she's just super excited about the whole, you know, engagement. But of course, she has to respect Kuga's decision because he's not really interested and he wants to focus on other things. But eventually, Kuga started to have feelings for her and now they're dating. It's just so cute and adorable. Kuga also have 2 siblings and a cousin living under him as well. And so they're very supportive with their relationship. And I just like this story so much is that the main girl, everything is new to her. And so she just gets so happy to experience new things like going to the zoo, hot spring, and the fact that she's not very like pushy when it comes to romance, which I really, really like because, you know, sometimes romance can be like rush and it's so predictable and it can be so cliche, and this one is not very cliche. I just find it just very subtle and cute, so I can't wait to read more of these. I believe this is a short series of a total of either 5 or 6 volumes. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I like it. I can't wait to read more. So here's some insight from the first volume. Illustration is really nice. It may look super wordy, but it's not that bad. It's still easy to read. So yeah, I really like the story so far. Like I said, I'm usually picky when it comes to romance and shoujo, but I don't know, there's just something special about this too and how the romance is. And so I really can't wait to see, you know, where this goes. And I really like the girl because she's just super carefree and always full of excitement because everything is new around her. I think that's why Kuga fell for her because she's just very like full of life. And so yeah. All right, it is, what is today? Monday? Yes, so I only read 2 volumes today. I'm continuing reading A Galaxy Next Door. So this is volume 3 and 4. So in volume 3, her parents decided to pay a visit, which was a big surprise. I guess they're just worried about her, thinking that Kuga, you know, might be just using her for his own benefits, but not entirely. And so, however, they both convince the parents that she'll be fine on her own and that she wants to really experience the outside world. However, the mom is just, I think she's just very overprotective. She just want to make sure her daughter is safe and all. And then they find out about the blood pact, and now they're trying to figure out to annul it. And so now Shiori has a year left to, you know, experience everything that she wants. And then now also they're gonna find a way to get rid of the annul pact. And so they did. I didn't know that when Kuga was stung by her stinger, I guess a stinger residue came inside him, and so they were able to pull it out, and now there's no retribution, and now Kuga will, you know, feel somehow normal. However, Shuri is worried about Kuga's feeling might change and that he may not love her anymore, but that's not the case. He still loves her. Their romance is getting stronger and taking the next step, and so that was like a huge relief. Now they can continue their romance as normal as they can, you know, without the without the blood pact. Anyway, on the next volume 4, Shiori actually decided to write her own manga story, and she did. She entered this contest. However, even though she didn't win, she still got recognized for her manga, and now her manga is being published, and it was very successful, even though there was still some bad comments and bad reviews. She was somewhat felt like, I guess, insecure because all her life back in the island she always like been praised by her own people, and so she had to get used to all these bad reviews and that everything is gonna be fine. And then eventually, like, the romance, like I said, started to get better, get to the next step. And then one day, actually, Kuga got sick because he's so busy all the time with his work, and then unfortunately his manga had to end. However, he is working another series for a children's book, and so yes, Kuga got sick, but he's better. And then after that, they went to this called glamping, and it was also Shiori's birthday, and so Kuga gave her like a necklace, and then Shiori was like, maybe next year it'll be a ring. So she's very like cute when it comes to romance, and like she wants to give hints, and like she's still not pushy, which that's what I like about this, this romance story, because it's not very like predictable and cliche. And so yeah, I really really like the story so far. As far as that, I think that's all what happens. And now, like I said, the romance is just getting better and better, trying to build up that trust at the same time. And so yeah, can't wait to read. I think there's only 2 more volumes after this, and so we'll see how the story ends. So I just finished reading Galaxy Next Door Volume 5. This was a very good volume. I think Volume 6 is the last volume. And so in this volume, Shuri had to go back home because her dad wasn't feeling well. And at the same time, her goal is to really talk to her mom about not coming back to the island and just be a regular, living a regular life outside the island. And so she did it. At first, the mother was just not very convincing. And then actually, her mom started to read her manga because her manga was published online. And so she was pretty shocked. And I think after reading the manga, the mom is finally realizing that her daughter is different, and that she doesn't want to pursue something very traditional in the island, and that her daughter wants something else. And so that was a big accomplishment for Shuri to finally talk to her mother about how she feels. And yeah, everything went well. And then after that, at the very end of this volume, if you don't want a spoiler, please skip this. Kuga finally proposed to her, and so that was so cute and such a happy moment. And then everybody was part of it, like, not everybody, but like everybody knew that Kuga was going to propose. And so that's what I like about this story. It's not just about them, the romance, but it's about his siblings, his cousin, and the neighbors. And yeah, I just like this story because, like I say, it's not all about their romance. And when it comes to the romance, it's not very cliche and obvious because Kuga and Shuri has their own goals. And so time to time they focus on their work, especially their manga. And so sometimes they don't even have time for each other because they also want to focus what they want to achieve in life. And that's what I like about this story, because it's not all about romance. And the romance is still like very cute and subtle. And yeah, I really like Shuri. She's just like, I don't know, your typical girl that gets very giddy and excited when it comes to romance. And especially for her because she's been living in the island for so long, and then everything is new for her. And so that's why I like her so much, because she knows how to be humble and caring and kind at the same time. And so yes, I can't wait for volume 6 and how everything is gonna be like. Alright, I just finished reading Aqua. I'm going to do a little backstory about this manga name because it's been changed a few times. So originally it's called Aqua, and now they changed it to Aria. And then the new prints from Crunchyroll, I don't know if that's exclusive, it's called Aria the Masterpiece. And so this is from the library, and so the first print and the second reprint, like the name wise, is out of stock, out of print. It's really hard to find. And so I was glad that my library had 2 volumes. And so this story is called Aqua because you got this young girl named Akari traveling from Manhome, also known as Earth, going to Aqua. Aqua is a planet that's formerly Mars, and now she's going to this place. It's almost like a mock-up of Venice because she wants to become an Undine, a gondolers. Those guys that rows the boat in Venice, for tourists. And so that's basically what she wants to be. And so she gets to learn about being an Undine, learning about the water and the planet and the weather, because it's a little bit different but somewhat similar. Yeah, she's having her time of her life because she always wants to be Undine. She meets all different kind of people, and then in the first volume she was able to pass the first test, because in order to become an Undine, you start as an apprentice, then a journeyman, then Undine. And so she passed, very amazing. And in a second volume, she was able to have a customer, and so her first customer was actually a guy that works in this floating city. He's like a salamander, I guess that's his profession. Anyway, so when you become a journeyman, you have a black boat, and it's very inexpensive fares, and you can get like maybe 1 or 2 customers and so on. And then once you become Undine, you transition to a white boat, and that's where you get a lot of customers, and fares will be also high up there. Anyway, one day, during their day off, they decided to go to the floating city and met up with her first customer as a tour guide. And then she got to learn about the floating city. So the floating city actually control the climates in this planet, because originally it's a cold planet, but with the climate control, it's warm and just right, but it can be too hot. And so they're having their time of life. Akari is just enjoying her time, and she likes to journal or write emails to whom. And so yeah, I really like the story. It's quite nice. It is like almost like a slice of life. I mean, the pace is kind of slow, however it's still fun to read. And since this is a out of print manga, I mean this version of manga, I may have to like get the copy from Crunchyroll, but it's like $20. And I've been trying to find like secondhand, and people are selling it for a crazy amount of price. But you know what, I just gotta be patient, and so it might be a while for me to read volume 3. And so yeah, really like the story. I can't wait to read more, and I can't wait for her journey and see where it goes, and hopefully she becomes an Undine. Anyway, I'll show you guys some insight. Oops. Illustration just really nice. It really captivates that, like, it's not from Earth and it's different. And yeah, I really like their uniform, which I can show you guys a better, like, that's their uniform. It's almost like seaman, like Navy, something like that. Yeah, it's really nice. And so, oh, I forgot to mention, so Akari is joining this company name called Arya. So that's where they get the name Arya for the change of name manga. And so yeah, and then I gotta show you guys this scene when they went to the floating city, because they actually there for a festival, and at the same time there was a fireworks. It was just a beautiful scene, honestly. Like, it's so pretty. Like, imagine that it's colored, but yeah, really nice. So the company she's working is called Arya, and then their president is a cat. And then next door, across of them, it's another company, and their president is also a cat. I'm a little bit confused about this two company. I'm not sure if they're affiliated, but then they have 2 different presidents. So that's a bit confusing, but I guess I'll learn more about that. But yeah, really good story so far. Can't wait to read more. I just want to add this image. This is a cable car where they used to go to the floating city, and this shows where the floating city in the sky. Hello, so today is Wednesday. Sorry if I sound very raspy. I'm not sure if I have allergy problem, but anyway, I just sound very nasally. So I just finished reading Call It Mystery. It's like a 1 and 2. Feels like an omnibus, so it's very thick. So this story is, I'd say it's pretty cool. It seems like I'm reading, but I'm also like, reminds me of those criminal shows. And so it is a mystery book. However, the main character, he's just a regular university student. It seems like he gets entangled with like all different cases and situation, and then somehow he's able to solve the problems and comes up with solution. And at the same time, he's very like informative. He knows a lot of things. At first I thought he could be like a profiler, but no, he's not. He's just a regular student. Anyway, there's like maybe 3 to 4 different situations that he was entangled, and it's just seemed like a cool story where he's just, you know, where he wasn't supposed to be there and however he got involved. But the first case, he was framed, and then of course he was trying to figure out who did it, but he was able to find it. And then the second case was like a bus kidnapping, and the third one was he was helping this lady solve a letter. And then the last one, which is the end of the volume, now he's being not pulled or forced, it's got to do with an inheritance that he's gonna help somehow. And so I really like the story. It has a very unique plot. It can be very wordy because this character loves to talk a lot, and so sometimes like the side characters gets annoyed by him, but at the same time like he's just like wants to express himself, and you know, it seems like he's just very a loquacious person. And so yeah, I really like it. I would definitely recommend anybody who's into this kind of things. And yeah, I can't wait to read more of this because like I said, he's always getting tangled with all different situations, and he just wanna have a normal day, but somehow like he gets interrupted, and he loves his curry. So this is rated 15 and plus. It's not very gory or explicit. Maybe there's just some word that's not appropriate for young people, and so I'm gonna flip some pages for you guys. Illustration is just simple and nice, but the story has some uniqueness, and it's so intriguing. It just makes you want to pull it in and read more because you want to know what's gonna happen next and what he's gonna do. And so yes, I really like it. And it sucks that my library doesn't have the rest of the volume, and so I might have to, you know, buy it, and hopefully I can find it secondhand because these are not cheap. It's like $25. And so yeah, I'm glad I'm gonna end this reading log. I'm glad I end my reading log with this manga because it's just super cool. I'm really interested. Here we go. This is all the manga that I read since Friday. Today is Wednesday, which I usually try to read for a whole week, like 7 days, but I think I want to make Thursday like a day to rest and just refresh my mind because I will start another read like on Fridays. And so this seems like a short list of manga that I read, but I don't really mind because sometimes I don't read because, you know, I have other things to do. But other than that, it was still a big accomplishment, especially this one because I had them for a while, and then the rest are library, and sometimes I force my library T-bar to be read first than what I own because, you know, the library, I have to return them ASAP. And so really I need to start reading what I have. But anyway, this was a nice versatile manga that I read. You know, it's Pride Month, that's why I read a bunch of BL, and then you get some romance and some, you know, adventure, and then a mystery. Yeah, a great group of manga. And so thank you for, you know, watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe give you some interest. What's your next reading manga? And so yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.